Okay, sorry about that. Summer will then move a little bit outside, and she will see if any of this rubble can be used to plug the doors here.
Okay. And I'm curious to hear what Ottardo has to say, and then we might get out of go out of initiative depending on what Ottardo's doing. Sam.
Ah, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, if we are looking for a way to barricade, does he see any loose planks or anything like that?
Yeah, there's plenty of rubble at the bottom of the pit. Once again, it looks like the ceiling collapsed and the floor collapsed, so there's plenty of debris that you could potentially use. Souma is also in the middle of finding some good stuff in the other room.
Okay. He does have a repair kit if it helps to like nail a plank across or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think that's okay. Then we can end the encounter. Because I'm getting the sense that nobody's interested in running after them right away, and instead you are taking some time to barricade these doors with some of the debris around using Ottardo's repair kit to reinforce the barricade.
All right. When Lucca hears the sounds of barricading, he comes back in, and he's like, "Oh, is this what we are doing now?"
It looks like it.
It may be work that we will only need to undo later. Don't know if you spied it, but there was a sort of skeleton that was posed to guard the door there. I can only assume it was meant to scare off individuals who might come snooping around.
It sounds just like the kind of person we should be talking to. If it's telling us to keep out, it's probably leading in the right direction.
Precisely my thinking. Someone who does not want to be addressed often has good reasons for it.
Better than slaughtering this poor little vermin.
So you're saying you want to explore this a little further?
I would like to see why that room is being warded against intrusion, at the very least.
Arthur looks to Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo was going that way first.
Which way?
He was going, like, Ottardo was going into the room before he was told, like, just to leave them alone. So he's fine going ahead again.
Okay. All right. So is he gonna take the lead, or is he just gonna step aside so Lucca can go ahead?
Well, I think he's going to wait just one moment for Birke and Souma to come back.
It would be ideal if we were to perhaps coordinate our movements more when exploring.
Yeah, someone meanwhile will like drag a large rotten board in here. It's like, so I found this. So where do we put it?
Just leave it against the wall for now. I think maybe it'll be handy later. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So we can open these doors. Consider them not barricaded yet, and you can move into the next room. Whoever wants to go ahead. And yeah, there it is. It's a skeletal guard. It's a 7-foot-tall skeleton dressed in armor made of gnarled roots and bones and rusted metal.
Where do we see it? Because I'm not.
You can't see it on the map yet. But it's standing right in front of the double doors,
Oh, okay.
blocking the end of the walkway. The armor is made of gnarled roots, bones, rusted metal, and it is clenching a morning star in one weathered hand, with the weapon's heavy spiked tip resting on the walkway at the skeleton's feet. As you walk into this hallway, you also notice, like as you step over the stones, that you're crossing some sort of a hollow space, which also a quick look outside the through the arrow slits confirms that indeed you're passing over the swamp here. And Ottardo, you recognize this, that you saw that vine outside that the midflit was using to climb across, and it is attached. It's kind of like a rope, somewhat cleverly hidden as a vine, that is attached to this arrow slit here. All right, so yeah, so that's what you see. And as Lucca is pointing out, the skeleton is actually propped up by this morning star, and you can see the wooden struts and crude lashings that are being used to keep it together.
Finally, some good bones.
Mhm.
And Lucca will move forward and begin looking to disassemble the skeleton.
All right.
While that is happening, Ottardo is going to refresh some of his health.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, as you start disassembling it, Lucca, it's really just like a matter of taking the first couple of pieces apart, and at the very least, when you reach for the Morning Star, the whole thing just kind of comes crashing down, clattering apart pretty loudly. It was just held together by string and mud, essentially. Yeah, but the Morning Star is actually quite nice. You even spot some runes on it. It's very well made, has weathered the passage of time remarkably well. It just seems to be a little grimy and dirty, but not rusted or anything.
Yeah, as the whole thing comes crashing down, Lucca's his shoulders maybe drop a little bit, and he says, "My apologies, friend, but I have a need." And he'll start kind of picking through the bones, looking for the ones that look like they're in the best shape, and he'll unshoulder his satchel and he'll start stuffing them into his bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you find a bunch of bones from a bunch of different creatures. So it's really like uh, they've assembled this skeleton, whoever did it, from a bunch of different probably skeletons or remains that they found. Some of it are animals, some of them maybe humanoid, maybe kobold. And you find a couple of. Do you need to know exactly what you find, or is it enough to just have like a couple of humanoid bones?
I mean, he'll prioritize humanoid bones, but he'll mostly take any that look like they're in good condition.
Okay. Yeah, there are a couple in there that you think are sufficiently well preserved.
He adds them to his bag.
All right. So there now the double door stands unguarded.
Um, does the Morning Star look like obviously magical?
I mean, the fact that it has been
Yeah.
for quite some time and is in this good condition and is decorated the way it is, you have a lot of reason to suspect that it might be.
Does any of you know how this one works?
You mean
He
You
Mace?
grab by the handle and smash someone's head with it?
No, I mean like, is it maybe cursed or something?
Well, you already wielded it, so you feel any different? I mean, if
No,
if you
Ottardo didn't pick it up. He's just asking about it yet because he would like to, but he hasn't taken it yet.
I suppose if we're taking a few minutes here, I can attempt to identify it. Is it first of all? I'll detect magic on it. Does it seem magical, or is there magic around?
There is magic around.
Okay, that's a good start. And I'm gonna attempt to identify it by some means if I can.
Okay, so let's walk through that because I don't think we've formally done that yet. I know there's an identify magic action, which has the concentrate, exploration, and secret trade. What kind of check is it attached to, though? I'm assuming Arcana.
Usually you can use any of the 4 skills. Sometimes it's restricted, but usually if you're using like skills that are not as directly related, it has a higher.
I think because I
yeah.
looked it up the other time, it's if the item has one of the tradition traits, if it says occult or divine or whatever, then you have to use that skill. If it just has magic trait, then you can use any of the 4 ones.
Okay, then Lucca, why don't you give me a secret check of any of the 4?
Any of the 4. Okay. I know I just rolled it before and I was unskilled, but I did realize I was short by 1 on my trained skills, so I did give myself Arcana.
Okay, that makes sense. Training that, yeah.
But if I can roll religion, I'll actually roll that because that's what I'm best at out of all of them.
Yeah, if that's usual, yeah, sounds like you can.
All right, and it's secret, right?
Yes.
Okay, blind. I think it's blind GM roll I need. So here we go.
All right, and the difficulty for that is. What is the difficulty for it? What does it depend on?
I think it's dependent on the item's level.
Oh, the items level, right? I was going to say they don't have a caster level, but they do have an item level. So. Let me see. Identify magical traditions. GGM sets the DC for your check. Yeah.
It's I think you normally take a standard DC for the level of the item.
Yes, but what does that mean?
You have a table. I think you.
Where?
Oh, there's a standard table for the DC by level. DC. If you just do DC by level Pathfinder 2, you'll have it. Level-based DCs.
Yeah, levels based DC.
I see. Okay. All right. That seems helpful. So that would be. Oh, nice. You may hit it exactly. So you know that it is a +1 Morning Star.
Does +1? Does that mean it has a striking rune, or is that's something different?
A weapon rune. A striking rune is something different. Striking rune would give you extra damage, I believe, like an extra die.
Right.
But the potency, that's just like the what we know from.
Oh, right. It's a potency rune. Okay. So it's just a +1 to attack and damage, right?
Just attack.
Just attack. The striking adds it to damage, but potency. Well, striking adds an extra damage die, but potency just makes it magical and makes it more likely to hit. Okay. Yeah. Lucca would share all of this.
Ottardo will look at either Birke or Arthur or Soma, maybe, if any wants to wield that.
Well,
just says,
yeah, unfortunately, maces are not my style.
No, I'm happy with my glaive.
Well, we'll maybe once we go back to Atari, we can. Well, let's just say recycle it and maybe set up Sir Ottardo his sword with new rune.
All right. Well, if right now nobody else is interested, Ottardo will grab the Morning Star.
Okay. And then what are we gonna do?
I think there's still some exploring to do.
Yeah, I guess we just cleared the skeleton. We can look at the doors behind.
Okay. Who's gonna take the lead?
I got it. Which way are we going? This way?
Yep.
All right. So Birke takes the lead, opening the double doors. I imagine kind of like Aragorn stepping into was it the halls of Gondor or whatever?
The Hornberg.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Hornberg.
Rohan.
And you open the doors, step into the hall, and indeed it is something of a throne room. Splintered framing in the ceiling and floor hint that thin wooden walls once divided this stone building's interior. But since those walls are demolished, there's only a single large chamber that remains. There's rubble, swamp vegetation, and mud pile in heaps like foul nests, while a larger stack of rubble, sticks, and bones look almost, but not quite, like a throne. A flattened mound of sand with a few dozen bits of wood and stone stuck into it covers the floor before the throne, and there's a bunch of midflits that have gathered in this room, some of them already very injured, so you've encountered them before. On the throne itself sits a midflit that looks pretty much like the others, but he's a little bit more muscular in appearance. He also has this interesting looking beard, but what really sets him apart is that makeshift crown that he's wearing and the trident that he is wielding and like holding on to. And as you step in, into the room, he calls out to you, and for the first time since you've encountered the midflits, in common, and he says, "Stop now! Yeah, we know you're here to defend the town from our impending invasion, but there's no reason for us to kill you here. If you would like to parley, we're willing to talk to you. There's no reason for further bloodshed just yet."
Finally, someone with authority who can negotiate this very complicated diplomatic incident.
Well, I wouldn't say it's that complicated. You just leave and let us go on with our lives.
Oh, I lower my glaive. I mean, I don't let go of it, but I definitely do the whole like pointing it away and other hand extended in. It's all right. We're not here to fight you, actually.
Right.
What do you mean you're not here? You came into my house. You killed some of my people.
Yeah, there's been some incidents concerning the lighthouse. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary lately?
The lighthouse? I mean, so you're not here because of the invasion?
What invasion?
And he takes his trident and then like, kind of like pokes around in the sand pile in front of him, knocking over all the little bits and pieces in it. And he says, "Nothing. So,
wait, no.
What
invasion?
Maybe there is a thing or two I know about the lighthouse. Yeah. Lighthouse. I know a lot about it.
You're gonna have to give us some information one way or another.
Well, he says, and his eyes go big, and he shakes his head, and he says, "I know that it's really creepy. Every night it glows, and there's a pretty big ghost up there. I'll tell you that."
A ghost?
Yep. I'm sure there is. I mean, what else would glow like that? Okay. But So you know everything we know, so I think it's time for you to leave. Thank you.
No. My friend here, and I point over to Lucca, is an avid osteologist. He is very keen on bones. And, well, we've come so far. I'd be most disappointed if he didn't just poke around that very enticing pile of non-invasive bones you have there in front of you. I mean, so we don't have to come back again. His curiosity would really get the best of him.
Oh, this? Yeah, it's just a pretty random collection of like bones and stuff that we like. We like pretty things. And
Yeah,
once
so
again,
you wouldn't mind my friend
he spots a part of this
coming
whole. He spots a part of this whole thing, where you see he hadn't like wiped away with his trident before, and you notice that it kind of looks like they made little houses out of that wood and bones, and he spots that and knocks it over and says, "Yeah, it's just random stuff. I mean, yeah, really nothing really." So yeah, if you wanna have it here, and he grabs some of the bones and like tosses it across the hall, and it slides lands at your feet. He says, "Please go ahead, take it. That it's a gift from Boss Strong himself." All right then, I think we're done here. Nice for you to stop by, and yeah, don't get too close to the lighthouse. Bye now.
So do you guys live here now?
I'm waiting to see if anyone says anything else.
Yes, we don't just live here. I rule this place. We have conquered these halls.
From
Well,
who?
the thing is, we need to investigate something strange going on. You can help us uncover it and leave us as peaceful as possible, or we're going to have to do some digging around, which can be a bit disruptive. And the things going on in the lighthouse, well,
Digging? Good luck digging in this place. All you're gonna find is those damn mushroom-eyed people.
Pardon me? Mushroom people?
Yes. I mean, don't mind. Don't worry about it. They're all the way down there. They're not gonna be up here, I don't think. At least they don't. Ever since we left the lower places, they've left us alone. So I don't think they can be up here.
What lower places are these you are referring to?
Oh, you know what my previous realm, that we had to temporarily abandon for now because of those mushroom-eyed people and that weird little magic mushroom priest guy. Nasty folks, really. Not like us. Not the peace-loving group of kind people that we are.
Very good, sir. Such mighty king as you, of course, could not have missed a humble dwarf scurrying about your realm, huh?
And nothing happens in my realm without me knowing about it. I have my eyes and ears everywhere, and I do have no idea what you're talking about.
knowing or allowing.
I have to say, my realm does not extend to the outbuildings of this particular place. So if your friend has been around here, maybe he's hiding out there.
Good for you. Political boundaries are important in defining the limits of statehood.
Yes. We very much respect boundaries.
What can you tell us about the pool of blood that lies at the base of the lighthouse?
That is the blood of my enemies that I spilled in gallons and buckets to conquer this place. Or at least it could be. To be honest, it was there before we got here. As you just kind of stand there, trying to figure out what move to make next. From behind thrown a giant spider-like creature that's obviously not a spider because it has one too many pairs of legs, and it's so white it's almost translucent, and it just kind of comes up from behind the throne and walks around, and then the boss Strong pets it and crawls it slightly, says, "Yes, bite. It's okay. No. We're not, you don't have to eat them just yet. I'm sure they're about to leave."
Well, yeah, some of them, I guess, Sage whispers to Ottardo and Azur, well, Azur is pretty far away, no, never mind. Like, well, it doesn't seem like last days here. We should lock them up and continue.
Do we know the name of the dwarf that we are searching for?
Well,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Well, at least from the player guide, it should be the common knowledge.
Yes, it is. I would actually have to look it up myself, but it is the name from the player's guide. Lasta.
Well,
Lasta Venkovale.
do we have any...
Yeah.
Please, Ottardo, continue.
He'll just mention the name to boss Strong and ask if it means anything to him.
It's just you always have all those funny names for yourself that don't really make any sense. I've never heard that. It's okay, bite. No. Like I said, they're about to leave. Right. I think I've been nothing but a gracious host to you so far, so please don't overextend my hospitality. Time for you all to leave.
Ottardo will turn to the rest of the group to see what they think.
The mask just shifts a little as Lucca nods.
I think we can leave them be. We'll be back if we have any questions.
Yeah.
You can see them kind of be a little bit relieved as you leave the room and the midflits behind you. I guess you learned a little bit, and then. Sorry.
Just before, as the others are walking away, Lucca will kind of linger a few seconds longer, and he'll just look out at them. His mask just kind of stares emotionlessly towards the boss. And he says, "Ottardo is well defended by many capable individuals. An assault would lead to your assured destruction. I would suggest taking your realm somewhere more peaceable." And then he'll just turn his back on them.
And as you leave, the boss just kind of yells after you. I have no idea what you're talking about.
And
All right.
As we turn around and close the doors, someone will say, "Hey, Lardos could use a good invasion. It will keep him sharp."
All right. That will be it for today, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
I